Thank you, Mr. President. And Senator Kruger, I agree with you on one point, and today is March 31st. And this is the first time we've had an open public debate of this budget. And I think that this is unfortunate for the people of the state of New York, who, because of what you're going to do and your Democrat friends and the Democrat governor, they're going to pay for this budget in so many ways, through higher taxes and possibly with the loss of their jobs. Senator Kruger, you mentioned the day of wine and roses is over. That's because you're going to tax wine. You're going to tax beer, and we should take a sip of water because you're going to be taxing water before this session is over. And that's important, that's unfortunate, because that impacts the quality of life that so many people in New York State desire, and they're losing it because of what your side of the aisle is doing. As you know, in the past, we broke the cycle of late budgets by reforming the process to bring about more openness and transparency than any time in the state's history. Both houses passed their own budgets, their budget plans or resolutions, and the press knew where we stood. Everyone knew, the public in particular, what budget alternatives we were supporting and opposing. We submitted them to joint conference committees. We all participated in that. We had discussions, and we worked out a resolution in public. Despite so much talk of reform and change, the only change we've seen is that an effective public budget process was ignored. This budget was negotiated in secret, crafted behind closed doors, subject to press blackouts and special rules to keep it under wraps as long as possible. Democrat Governor Patterson, Democrat Speaker Silver, and Democrat Majority Leader Senator Smith succeeded, and all of you, by allowing it to happen, in turning back the clock to the days of three men in a room. And the result is a disastrous budget that taxes too much, spends too much, and will cost thousands and thousands of jobs. This lack of transparency is unprecedented in all the years that I've had the privilege to serve in this chamber. You can talk all you want about having one New York, but the fact is that half of the people in this state that we represent have been shut out of the budget process. Well, today, the people that we represent are going to have their say, and they will have their say tomorrow when we continue to debate bills. And let me tell you, they're going to express their feelings and their reaction to the budget you're going to pass in the days to come. The members of the Senate Republican Conference have a lot of questions we want to ask today and tomorrow, because we've only had a short time to review this budget. As the only conference that publicly proposed its own budget, some plan, something, we want to offer alternatives to this budget. I expect we'll have a lively, informative debate and a respectful one. Passing the budget is the single most important action the legislature undertakes, and it has the largest impact on every person, every family, and every business in this state. Governor Patterson, Speaker Silver, and Senator Smith said this budget couldn't be discussed in public because we are in crisis. That's shocking, and that's disgraceful. Let me say that so many families across this state are facing a real crisis. They are worried about their jobs and their future. They are struggling to make ends meet. People are worried about losing their homes or their businesses. They deserve to know how much of their hard-earned money the state is going to take away and how it will be spent. And they deserve that in advance of passage of this legislation. Today and tomorrow, Senate Republicans are going to speak up for the New Yorkers who don't want to pay higher taxes. We're going to fight for homeowners who want to help pay their property help paying their property taxes. And quite frankly, they want their star rebate checks returned because they depend upon it. We are going to try to stop measures, and we urge any one of you, we just need one of you, of courage and conviction, to join us in stopping this disastrous plan. The budget process has been conducted solely by 3 Democrats from New York City, people in Buffalo, Syracuse, Watertown, and Mineola. They didn't have their voices heard because everything was done behind closed doors. They deserve a full, open, and public debate, not a rubber stamp on a bad budget that increases taxes, takes away property tax relief, and causes more jobs to be lost. So thank you, Mr. President, for the courtesy of allowing me to speak as we enter this budget process. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Skelos.